Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we are back with another prediction video on the channel. And today giving my predictions for Cage Warriors 176, Hardwick versus Iorga. Now this weekend is absolutely jam-packed, full of MMA cards. Like this is the fourth card I think I'm doing this week, so I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to be watching this one as well, so I'm going to give my predictions for it. It should be a fun card, but before I get into it, make sure if you're not already and you are enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button, guys. It's much appreciated. So there is quite a few fights on this card tomorrow night. There is a total of 14. So we kick things off with the first fight of the night, which is Reggie Hingston versus Ryan Hewitt. Reggie Hingston 1-0 in his professional record. Ryan Hewitt 1-2. So not many fights between them both. Hingston won his first one by punches in round number 1, so he's got a KO win under his belt. Hewitt, let's look at his record. He won his first fight by KO, then he lost one by submission, then lost one by decision. So interesting fight this one. Could go either way, to be honest, but I think this card is in Scotland, so I'm going to back the Scottish man Hingston to get this done, and I think he gets this done by KO in round number 1. I don't know. I think he got a KO in his first fight. I think he's gonna get a KO in his second fight. So we move up the card to Igor Wojtas versus Emerson Oliveira. Now Wojtas 11-9, Polish man. A lot of fights under his belt. Coming off 2 wins. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Before that, he lost 2. So he always goes like win-win, loss-loss. He just like never gets a streak going really, but he's fighting Emerson Oliveira, 8-5-1 as a record. He is coming off 2 wins also. Most of his wins coming by submission. So tough one to pick this one, but I do think that the Polish man is going to get the job done. Wojtas, I think he is the better fighter from his, even though he has lost 9 times, but he has got 11 wins. So I reckon he gets this job done by decision. Now we move up the card to Charles Joyner versus Brandon Guest. Now, Charles Joyner, not a bad record. He is from Australia. He's 3-1. Only loss coming by decision to Jordan O'Neill, who is actually pretty decent. But all wins coming by KO, so not too bad. He's fighting Brandon Guest, who is 0-0. It's his first professional fight, but his amateur record is pretty good, to be fair. He's 7-2. A lot of KO wins as well, and he's been to decision a couple of times, so it's a fun fight. It should be. There's not much professional experience for Guest, but he has got a decent amateur record, and that's why I'm going to pick him in this fight. So I think Brandon Guest gets this job done by decision. Now we move up the card again to Ryan Campbell versus Sharam Hotak. Now Campbell, Scottish man again, 1-0 record, coming off a win by decision to some guy called Smeekel, and he's undefeated amateur record as well, I'm pretty sure. He's fighting an Afghanistani, Shamran Hotak, who was also 1-0, but his his amateur record's 1-0. Apparently he's had one fight that he lost that is flagged for illegitimacy, which is interesting. But I do just think Campbell will get this job done. I mean, he's 1-0. He's already had a fight, won it by decision, showed he's pretty capable, and I think he gets this one done by decision as well. Now we move up the cards to Jordan Stronge versus Wesley Machado. Now Stronge 2-1, Machado 3-5, so he has a losing record. To be fair to him, Stronge not 2-1, coming off 1 split decision loss, so not too bad there. Win by decision, a win by submission as well. Machado, I've lost him. Where's he gone? 3-5. He's got 2 losses by submission, 1 loss by KO, and 2 losses by decision. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. So I am going to be going with Stronge with this fight, and I think he's going to get it done by submission in round number 2. So we move up the card again to O'Neal Brown versus Henry Lintula. Now both got impressive records, to be fair. O'Neal Brown 7-3, Lintula 8-1, Finnish man. He's got 7 wins by submission, so this guy's dangerous on the ground. He's very good at jiu-jitsu, I can see that. O'Neal Brown 7-3, so he has lost more, but he still looks a capable fighter. He's coming off a win by guillotine. He's got a couple 4 wins by knockout. Well, all of his wins are by finish, so he is pretty good, to be fair. But I can see a finish coming in this fight for either one of them. Feeling either Brown knocks out Lintula or Lintula finishes Brown. But I do think that Henry Lintula will get this job done. I feel like he's got a lot of submission wins. I think if it goes to the ground, he will get a submission win, and I feel that's going to happen in this fight, and he's going to get it done by submission in round number 3. Now, we move up the card again to Burama Camara versus Marco Kisic. Now, Camara's 7-3, same as Brown was in the last fight. Quite a few wins. He's coming off 2 decision wins, win streak, and Kisic 10-4. Also coming off a win by submission. Before that, he got KO'd by Josovic. Not too bad of a record, to be fair. 5 wins by submission as well. But I do think Camara, the Frenchman, he is coming off 2 wins by decision. So I feel like when a fighter wins by decision, it shows they're like capable of withstanding like pressure and stuff, and it shows they're quite well rounded. So I am going to go with Camara to get this done by decision again. He's going to increase that win streak to 3. So move up the card to Clancy Jr versus Rafael Aronov. Aronov, the Israeli man, 6-5, not the best record. Clancy Jr on the other hand, 4-0 record, pretty decent. Pretty good amateur record as well. All of his fights, he's finished every single one of his fights. So Clancy Jr is a danger. He's got 3 wins by knockout, 1 by submission. I feel like I can see him finishing this fight as well. So I've got Clancy Jr by KO in round number 1. Now we move up the card to Damon Donald versus Callum Parker. Now Donald 2-0, Parker 3-4. So a bit of a difference in records there. Parker is coming off a win, but before that he had 4 losses in a row. So not the best really. All by decision as well. So if it takes it to decision, I think we know who's going to win here. Donald 2-0, 1 win, well both wins by KO, round number 3 and round number 2. So it shows he can last further into the round. So I'm going to go with Damon Donald here, and I think he gets this done by decision. Parker has lost 4 decisions, and see him losing a 5th one here. So we move up the card to Harvie versus Rory Evans. Now Harvie 7-3-2. This guy's got 2 draws, and they were both in a row. He lost a draw to a draw to Bembe, then lost a split decision draw to Willem McEwan. So that's interesting. You don't normally see that every day. But he is on a 2-fight win streak, head kick KO, then he just won a decision in Cage Warriors. So not too bad. He also lost in Bellator not too long ago. Rory Evans, the Welshman, 7-6 record. Quite a few losses under his belt there. He's coming off a KO win, but he has lost quite a few by KO as well. So interesting fight this one, but I can see Harvie winning this, you know. He's been there, done that, and I think he gets this one done by submission in round number 2. What's his face? Rory Evans has been submitted before. I think he gets submitted again here. So we move up the card to Michael Blair versus Kai Stevens. Now Blair, the Scottish man, 3-2 record, is coming off a decision win. Before that, he lost a submission, and then he's had a few more wins by KO before that. Kai Stevens, 4-3, 26 years old. He's coming off a KO loss, but before that, he's had a few wins by KO himself and decision. So it's a tough one to call this. Not got a lot to go off on either of them, but I do think Kai Stevens will get this one done. The Englishman. I just don't think Michael Blair has shown he's that great in his few fights he's had. So I reckon Stevens get this one done by decision. Now we move up the card to Rhys McEwan versus Miguel Haro. Now Rhys McEwan, pretty good record, 7-3. There's another Scottish man. Most of his wins coming by submission as well. He is coming off 2 losses, but both by decision, not being finished. Decision and then a split decision in his last fight. So not too bad really. Miguel Haro, 11-10. So not a great record. Had quite a few. He's got a few wins by submission, but he's lost 4 times to submission as well. He is coming off 2 wins, to be fair, but he had 3 losses in a row before that. So I will be going with McEwan here. He has an more impressive record. Yeah, I think he's looked good in his some of his fights as well. So I think McEwan gets this done by decision in this fight. So we move up the card too. Is this the co-main event? Yeah, Chris Bungard versus Andre Augusto. Now, Bungard, quite a few fights under his belt. 35 years of age, veteran, 19-9, Scotland man, 10 wins by submission, 5 by KO, and most of his losses coming by decision as well. But he's coming off a submission loss, to be fair to him. He actually lost to George Hardwick, who is the main event of this card, by KO. He also lost to Brent Primus as well in Bellator. He had 2 fights in Bellator and he lost 2 of them, and then he won 3. But yeah, he's a pretty decent fighter. He's getting on a bit though. Bundard, Andre Augusto, 32 years of age, so slightly younger. He's had a few fights. Most of his fights go win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. That's his record recently. But so that should mean he's coming up for a win in this one if it's going like that. But yeah, he's not too bad. He's had quite a lot of good wins under his belt. A lot of decision wins, a lot of KO wins. So he's never been KO'd as well. So it should be a decent fight, this one. But I am going to go with Augusto to get this job done. He is the younger fighter. He is due a win as well. So I think he gets this one done by decision. Now we move up to the main event. George Hardwick versus Christian Iorga. Now, George Hardwick, we know how good he is. He is pretty decent, but he is coming off that loss on the Contender Series to Abdul Karim El Sawadi. I mean, El Sawadi isn't, well, we've seen him in the UFC. He isn't very good, really. He think got like KO'd in like round 3 or something in his last fight. I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But before that, what's his face? George Hardwick had 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6 finishes in a row. So he is pretty good. Won twice in Bellator as well. You can't really pick against George Hardwick here. I mean, Christian Iorga, 7-1, pretty impressive record. His only loss coming to KO by some random like Romanian guy or something, Moldovan guy. But after that, he's got a decision win, submission win, and a KO win. So he's an all-round good fighter. But I don't think he beats Hardwick here. I think Hardwick's going to add another KO to his record, and he gets this one done by KO in round number 2. So there we have it. There were my picks for Cage Warriors 176. Make sure if you disagree or agree, you let me know down in the comments of any of my picks. And that's going to be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.